Hey, everybody. This is Cesare Warren. I am the host here of Centering Possibility Live. And this series is intended to be a companion to my latest book, Centering Possibility in Black Education, being published by Teachers College Press, Columbia University, April 2021. It's now available for you. And today's guest is another artist who has contributed to the book, his art, and I'm excited to introduce him to all of you. Let's bring onto the screen Timothy Welbeck. He's coming on right now. How you doing, Tim?
I'm great. Cesare, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. So, tell us about who is Timothy Welbeck.
Uh, I'm Timothy Welbeck. I'm a civil rights attorney, professor of Africology and African American Studies, author and contributing writer. And I guess what brings me here today is before I did any of that, I rap as well. And so before I was teaching at universities, before I was writing books and essays, before I was practicing law, I rapped and I used my music as a way to communicate not only my lived experiences, but also how I view the world, how I believe the world should be, and trying to capture some of those moments.
Dope. Dope. So what's bringing you to? So I know you're in my second home, my second favorite place, Philadelphia, and I can't wait to get back there. And there's some crazy stuff happening with Penn and the move, them holding the remains of people who were killed in the move bombing in '85. But beyond all of what is going on in the world, what is bringing you joy?
In terms of all that's going on in the world, I'm blessed to be married and have three beautiful children, and to have my family with me brings me great joy. And especially having three small children, it gives me great hope in terms of what this world can be. And it also inspires my work because I want to leave a world for them that's better than the one that I came into. So having my wife and children with me bring me great joy, especially in such dark times that we live in the moment.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so and you spoke about your children, and as I've said a few times already in this series, but it's worth repeating. This book was written with Black children in mind, and written with a commitment to recasting and revisioning Blackness and Black people as full of beauty and brilliance. So when you think about the call that went out for artists to contribute, I'm just interested to hear you talk about what motivated you to want to submit a piece to be included in the book.
I think you captured it right there in the idea of reimagining blackness. So often, when we dedicate our experience or try to document our experience in art or in other ways, so much of it is centered around the trauma that we've experienced as Africans in America, just being black and having so much of our identity stigmatized and our humanity not affirmed and acknowledged for the brilliance and beauty that it is. So seeing something that's centering and reimagining blackness and centering on just our very existence and the joy that comes with that, the beauty, the inherent brilliance of blackness, that's something that I wanted to be a part of, especially in the current era that we live in.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate you seeing the vision in that. So tell us a little bit about your piece. Your piece, May You Ever, appears at the end of chapter 7, which is a chapter about the collective and the collective well-being of Black people and the ways that education can facilitate that. So when you think about the book, it's the notion of possibility in Black education transformation. How does your piece sort of connect to that?
For me, my piece, May You Ever, is affirming the brilliance, the radiance, the dignity of Black women. As Brother Malcolm said in one of his more famous speeches, Black women are the most disrespected people in America, and our community as a whole is not what it is without the contributions of our women. And, and beyond that, we as a people, particularly us who identify as men, often do not fully acknowledge Black women in the way that we should. We don't affirm them always in the way that we should, particularly in popular art and entertainment. We're seeing significant amounts of content that denigrates our women and objectifies them or suppresses their voices. And so, and the idea of wholeness in our community, I wanted to affirm the women in my life, and also beyond that, some of my heroes from history and people that I admire and the current era as well, and just wanted to bring all of that together in a song celebrating Black women, because Black women are everything, right?
Black women are everything. And I love that. I thought that this piece would be a really appropriate addition to that particular chapter, because as I shared, the book is inspired by the work of Robin D.G. Kelley. And part of what he argues in his book, Freedom Dreams, is that when we think about revolutions for Black people, we tend to mute the contributions of Black women and Black queer people. And so I think to foreground your piece in that chapter and to really name, like, Black women have such an important, have made so many foundational contributions to the wellness and well-being of all Black people. It was just such an appropriate piece. So with that, I'm excited to have you perform that piece, May You Ever.
Thank you for the introduction. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of a project like this, especially foregrounding Black women, particularly within the struggle for our liberation, because Black women have been at the forefront of every struggle for meaningful change in this country. And as you said, they often get overlooked. And so, and with that in mind, may you ever. Sorry, if you don't mind, I'm going to start that over. Is that okay? May you ever sojourn for the truth like Isabella, be regal the way Michelle does. May you ever raise up kings like Coretta, be courageous like Harriet was. May you ever be mindful of your worth all of the days you walk the earth. And may you ever, may you ever, may you ever, the kink of your hair, the plump of your lips is seen as a reason to stare, not a wondrous gift. But no thing compares to the circumference of your hips, when all of humanity has come birth from within. But your hips and your thighs, well, they'll stigmatize until they go and try to find a version of it, another version of it. Like you weren't the first to exist. You hold your head high. Never think that you weren't fit, because you were designed by the Most High. You reach to new heights, standing on the shoulders of giants like Mary Ella, Phyllis, Shirley, Oprah, Rosa, and Ida. What I'm trying to tell you is a she-roll is inside you, and your brilliance is a trait that leads folks to admire you. Your resilience paves the way for those coming behind you. Of the truth, your value is beyond measuring. I hope you know that, and walk in it. May you ever be. May you ever break ground like Venus and Serena, sing of freedom like Lena. May you ever inspire like Septima, bring the fire like Nina. May you ever be mindful of your worth all of the days you walk the earth. And may you ever, may you ever, may you ever, may you ever. I dedicate the second verse to my daughters, Leilani and Amariah. Your laughter's a melody that echoes through my day and shatters whatever treble bellows above the fray. It doesn't matter how it's cleft or how the treble is bass. Your laughter has the means of chasing trouble away. And the chord of his chorus shows what the Lord does every day for us. By the measure of his grace, his life is gorgeous. You help to make it that way. It's so important that you know that is more than a saying, more than a phrase that we incorporate in parlance. You add so much purpose, so much joy to my day. And as each of you girls grow up into being a woman, no matter what this world comes up with, your value will never plummet. You're beautiful because what God has placed inside you, let your character be the trait of what will come to define you. Of the truth, your value is beyond measuring. I'll always tell you that. Walk in it, may you ever be. Walk in it. Walk in it, may you ever be. May you ever be. May you ever. 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 May you ever sojourn for the truth like Isabella, be regal the way Michelle does. May you ever raise up kings like Coretta, be courageous like Harrigan was. May you ever break ground like Venus and Serena, sing of freedom like Lena. May you ever inspire like Septima, bring the fire like Nina. May you ever, may you ever, may you ever, may you ever.
Yes. I wish it was like I had an applause track I could just play. May you ever. That's going to be in my head all day. May you ever. Thank you. Thank you.
Again, I appreciate the opportunity. This is a much needed work in our time. Cesare, thank you for including me. I'm honored to be a part of what you're doing, and I want to thank you again.
No, I appreciate it. And I think the audience should know, like, this is this moment, this is live. We vibing and we going with it. And I'm excited for people to just see and engage with your heart. I just saw so much heart in your performance and such sincerity. So as the people read the words and they hear you spit it, may they ever be inspired by your thoughts and your words. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So that's it, folks. You know that these are short. As always, be good to yourself, be good to one another. The book is available now. You can go to my website, CesareWarren.com, to get your copy of the book or wherever books are sold. And I look forward to continuing the conversation well into the future. Take good care.